Go ahead and get started. Everybody ready? All right, so welcome to this week's workshop, which is Essential Oil Basics. Now, how many here have had exposure to essential oils in the past? Okay. So I know there are Essential Oil 101 classes. This is a class below that. So this is to give you really, really basic exposure to essential oils. And the first thing we're actually going to discuss is what this actually has to do with your chiropractic care. So I see a lot of chiropractic patients in this room, strange enough, right? And when we talk about your health, when we're talking about chiropractic, what is it that we actually correct in this office? Subluxations, right? Who can tell me what a subluxation is? Out loud for the class to hear.
A block in the spine.
A block in the spine?
That prevents you from being at your maximum health potential.
Absolutely. So a block in the spine that prevents you from being at your maximum health potential. That is 100% correct. What is the physical subluxation? If we were to describe it on a physical level.
Compression of the nerves.
Compression of a nerve. So we have a misalignment, there we go, of the spine that can actually cause an inflammatory process or physically pinch a nerve. And then, like Mr. Washington said, it can actually cut down on the information that travels through your nervous system from your brain to every cell in your body. By how much? 60%. We have some A students in here. I love it. So, how are subluxations made? How do we create subluxations in our spines? Birth,
Trauma.
poor posture, travel,
Stress.
stress, sports, impacts, gravity, absolutely. So there's a lot of different things that can actually cause our spine to become misaligned, and we have such good students here, and I love that. So when it comes to those misalignments, we can break them down into, or those causes of misalignments, we can break them down into 3 categories. We can talk about toxins. So when we talk about the creation of a subluxation, there's 3 T's that are associated with it. The first are toxins. So what toxins are you exposed to on a daily basis? Environment, right? We don't live on the cleanest planet anymore, unfortunately. So we have pollution in our air, in our water, our food, absolutely, food additives, preservatives, enhancers.
That can cause a subluxation.
It can cause a subluxation.
Weird.
Absolutely, because your body is so intelligent, it knows that it needs to block certain things, so your body can react to it, and that can actually cause a subluxation.
Allergies make you sneeze at you.
Things that in the environment, for sure. Another T that we have are our thoughts. So that stress, that emotional response. Has anyone here ever had a negative thought? Never? Our professional in the room who takes care of people with negative thoughts all the time. We don't have negative thoughts, right? So thoughts can actually cause subluxation. So when we talk about posture, right? What happens when you're stressed? What is your posture when you're stressed? You ball up, shoulders come
Protective.
up. That protective mode where you're ready to fight someone off. So if you're stressed all the time, your body will compensate, and that can actually create subluxations. We find most subluxations, people who are stressed in their neck and upper back. And it's mainly because your shoulders are in your ears. So that can absolutely cause that to happen. And then our final one are traumas. So we talked about sports. Impacts, car accidents, falls. If you ever run into a wall, it happens a lot. Walking into walls, tripping over furniture, stepping off a curb incorrectly, jamming your leg all the way up your body. So even minor things, right? Such as stubbing your toe, that can cause a subluxation up in your neck because it causes that pressure, that force to shoot upward. So it can knock something out, especially if you stub your toe and then you get stressed about it, right? So these are things that can actually cause misalignments in your spine. Now, you all know I love chiropractic. I've dedicated my life to this profession. I love what it is that we have available to our community. And for those of you who are getting adjusted, I know you like it too, right? Because you come in, you're smiling, like, woo, and everyone, I would say pretty much everyone smiles when they're leaving too, after the adjustment's been made. Now, as much as I love chiropractic, I have to say that there are limitations to what we can correct. So we can absolutely realign your spine. I can guarantee you we can realign your spine. We can get those subluxations reduced, take pressure off your nerves, and increase the communication in your body. Now, if you walk outside the office and you have these 3 things that create subluxations going on, what's going to happen?
Turn around, come back in.
Turn around, come back in. You don't have to quite do that, but you may create more subluxations. So you actually have to deal with these different aspects of your health and of your life to reduce subluxations. So Dr. Steve and I love adjusting. We would adjust you all every single day, twice a day. We would, it sounds good, right?
Yeah.
There's some days you do need 2 adjustments or more in a day. The most I've been adjusted in a day has been 7 times. I had a massive migraine. I had to have it done, and it saved my life. It kept me out of the ER. It was wonderful. However, no, I had obviously some things going on in my body that were causing the subluxations to reoccur and the adjustments not hold. So when you're talking about your health, I want you to think big picture. I know we're here to talk about essential oils, right? You're like, what does this have to do with essential oils? We're going to get there. Your health is a big picture. Chiropractic is part of that big picture, and you have to address these other areas of your life if you truly want your body to work for you, not against you, and for your own health. So think about that. The reason that we're including essential oils and we're doing this as a resource to the members of our practice and our community is because essential oils actually help to address these different aspects. So when we talk about toxins, we talked about different places you can pick them up, right? So we talked about our food, our water supply. You can actually use essential oils to help purify your water. And one of the greatest sources of toxins in our society are medications. Remember, Dr. Steve said we make about 5% of the population, we take 75% of the world's medication. That's not okay. So we're pouring those things into our body. That pours out of our body through our digestive system and into our water system. So if you can use essential oils to help your body overcome different things, you can actually reduce the amount of toxins in your own system. Also, if you think about other things around your house, cleaning products, things like that we're exposed to that put more toxins on us, anything you put on your body has the ability to go in your body and make you sick. So if you can replace things that are toxic, you can help reduce that, right? Our thoughts. Essential oils can actually have an impact on your thoughts through your limbic system. So we have a special time of year coming up. Who loves the fall? Pumpkin spice. It's already out there, right? There's an unhealthy addiction to pumpkin spice in this country. It scares me just a little bit. But so that when you think of fall, you think of pumpkin spice, it's relaxing, it's exciting, then Christmas comes. So our limbic system is related to our emotions. So if you smell something that can actually trigger those happier emotions, you can actually have happier thoughts and reduce the stress in your body, which is going to help with this aspect of your health. Now, as far as trauma goes, traumas happen. We can injure ourselves. And depending on how you choose to address that trauma, so some people choose to take medication, right? So we're putting more toxins in. So we can address the trauma. There's certain oils that can help you to heal faster. And also, if you do have an injury, I can't say that essential oils are going to make you Superman. I wish they could. But it can help you heal a lot faster, which is going to help you, say if you do strain a muscle and you start using essential oils to help that muscle heal faster, your posture is going to correct faster, your gait's going to actually change faster, you'll reduce your subluxations. So that's why we have essential oils in this office. It's actually the same reason we have supplements in our office. We want to help you address all these different aspects of your health. So that's what we're going to talk about. So for those of you who, oh, that's not supposed to pop up yet. For those of you who have exposure or haven't had exposure to essential oils, I'm going to give you the very basic breakdown of how they're made. So if you have an opportunity to actually, there's great videos out there to show you how they're made. This is going to be a little more exciting. So essential oils are actually the lifeblood of a plant. So if you think about a plant, it's a living thing, right? We can all agree on that. If a plant is healthy, it grows, it blossoms. If it's not, it doesn't. So the essential oils come from a plant, and their jobs are to actually help that plant heal and thrive. So if a plant becomes injured, if it gets cut, it doesn't just die, right? It actually has this intelligence in it that helps it to heal and continue growing. Remember innate intelligence? Talk about that a lot in this office. It's kind of like the innate intelligence of a plant. So plants are taken, or specific parts of plants are taken, and this is where the pot comes in. They're actually distilled, and depending on what they want to extract from the plant, they'll use like the rinds, they can use sap, or they can use whole leaves. But the fact of the matter is that they compress it, they condense it, and what you end up with, and then it can happen for hours or days depending on what their process is, and then you end up with the most purified aspect of it. So what I want to be very, very clear about when we are talking about essential oils is that the quality of this will actually determine the quality of this. So if you are using essential oils, the company that we like to work with in our office is called Young Living. And I used to work with another company, and I thought they were great until I heard about Young Living standards. So the reason I like Young Living is because this, I know, is organically grown. It's taken care of to the highest standard. This process is tested throughout every single step, the distillation process, and out of their essential oils, only 1/3 of what they produce is actually released because their standards are so high. So you know that the product that you're getting is the best of the best. Now, if this plant is treated with pesticides, what's going to end up down here? Pesticides. They can't pull it out. So the quality, where it's coming from, how it's treated before you get it, it's no different than your food. You have to consider that. Because I know for me, if I want the health benefits of using an essential oil, I don't want to be putting pesticides on my body. The cheaper essential oils that are out there that you can get for like, I know, right? That you can get cheaply. They have them at different stores in the area, and it's like $5 for a bottle of essential oil or whatever the case is. They can have up to 3,000 different chemicals in there and not tell you. So what I like, again, about this company is it's very transparent. You can actually go to their farms and be part of the process. How freaking cool is that? I love it. So when it comes to actually utilizing essential oils, there are different ways to actually apply them. So how many of you have seen our little volcano at the front desk that's shooting up the steam? That's a diffuser. So diffusing is great. I love it because you get to expose everyone around you to it at the same time. It's a good way to get it in the air. You can actually purify the air using essential oils and diffusers. And so this actually allows you to breathe it in. You smell it, you get that limbic system response, and your body takes it in and starts utilizing it. We're going to talk about how your body does that in just a moment. So diffusing can be done without diffuser, which is great. Again, the quality of your diffuser makes a difference because if you have a low quality diffuser, essential oils are great, but they will, if they're high quality essential oils, they will eat your cheap diffuser. So you'll be diffusing plastic in the air. It's really, really important that you have high quality diffusers with this. You can also put it on topically. So how many people have used essential oils? And you've used them, have you used them topically before? Okay. So topically means that you're actually putting it on your body somewhere. And there's two ways to put it on. You can put it on neat, which is straight out of the bottle, which is my favorite because I'm impatient. So if you look at any of my bags, if you look at my desk, I've got I don't have very many diluted essential oils. I have straight, neat little bottles that I put it directly on my skin wherever I want to use it. So that's one way to use it, or you can put it in a carrier oil. If you are someone who is very, very sensitive to things, or you're not sure how you're going to react, or you're a young baby, you want to make sure that you are diluting your oils because they are very, very strong. That distillation process concentrates it. So for peppermint, for example, 1 drop of peppermint oil is equal to 76 bags of peppermint tea. 1 drop. So when I have some little bottles here that you can take a look at and experience if you want. They do come in 5 or 15 milliliter bottles. A 15 milliliter bottle takes about 1 pound of peppermint to make. So if you think about how small peppermint leaves are, that's a lot put into one thing. So you want to make sure that if you're not sure how your body's going to react to it, that you are putting it in a carrier oil, because there's a detoxing process that can go on. So you want to make sure that you're not making yourself sick in the process of making yourself better. So carrier oils are great. You can use many different kinds of oils. Some people like avocado. There's, what have you guys used?
Coconut.
Coconut's great. I love coconut. It's good for so many things. What else?
Sunflower.
Sunflower's another great one. Definitely. So there's a lot of different things. You can even put it in different lotions. But again, remember, everything you put on your body gets pulled into your body. So you want to make sure whatever your carrier oil is, that it is high quality. Also, when it comes to these two different things, if you're putting it on neat and just keeping it in a bottle by itself, if it's a good quality oil like Young Living, it will not expire. If you put it in a carrier oils do go rancid. So keep that in mind. If it's not something you're planning on using often, make small doses. That way you can use it and then go on. You can also use essential oils internally. So this is a controversial way to use essential oils. He knows. So to use them internally, you can put them, say, in food and ingest it that way. You can put it in liquid, water, get it that way. Whenever you're using it in a container, you want it to be a glass container because the essential oils, being high quality, will eat the plastic. I've learned this the hard way. Learn from my mistakes. Okay? So always use glass. You can also put it in veggie caps, things like that, if you want to have that effect. Now, again, remember, all your essential oils are extremely potent. So if you are choosing to put it in internally, you're going to want to watch how much you're putting in. Because if you take a capsule and you fill it with peppermint oil, that's a lot of peppermint to be exposing your body to at one time, right? So, and then there are also other ones, if you are taking certain medications, like a blood thinner, you don't want to be taking wintergreen, or a lot of it, because wintergreen has an aspirin-like effect in the body. So you don't want to be using too much of it. It's actually the only essential oil that comes with a childproof cap. So we want to make sure that you're using it appropriately. But for most high-quality essential oils, like in living, it is safe to take them internally. And I can say I've done it myself and survived. So there we go. All right, so how they actually work. I love essential oils because they've actually, if you think about our medical community and where they came from, right? So way back in the day, before we had pharmaceutical companies and labs and lab rats and all these things, genetic modification, whatever. So where did medicine used to come from? Nature, right? Plants, fields. So people would actually go out and they'd say, oh, there's a plant, and they'd harvest it, and that's what they would use. And then over time, what our healthcare system has done, our pharmaceutical company has done, is they have tried to identify the active part of the plant and replicate it with a chemical. So it doesn't work the same way. The great thing about our plants is a lot of their components are synergistic. So if you take away one aspect of it, it doesn't work the same way. So with essential oils and the lifeblood of the plant, your body actually knows what to do with it. Plants are put on this earth for us to use. I think we can agree with that. So the cool thing about essential oils is they've already accomplished what modern medicine is trying to do. Now, a lot of medications, when they go in your system and they go to the cells, they can't get inside the cells. They can't impact the DNA. They can't impact all the little organelles that are in there. And one important thing they cannot do is they cannot cross the blood-brain barrier. If you have a healthy blood-brain barrier, it's supposed to keep things out. Essential oil particles are so small that they actually go in, and they can actually go through the cell wall. They can scrub it if it's dirty and nasty from chemicals and stress hormones and all those things. They clean it off. They go inside and they can actually impact the DNA. They're that small. They can go in, which is really, really cool. They can also cross the blood-brain barrier. So I love that we are here and designed to work well for ourselves, and that our planet and our plants are designed to do that for us. We just need to actually learn to listen. If you listen to your health and your body, it's so much better for you. It's so much easier in the long run. So, right? So that's, and that's just one small aspect of how essential oil works. So that's on the cellular level. Now, when you talk about the different ways that you can use them, when you're diffusing them, they go in through your respiratory system. Now, going in through your lungs is one of the quickest ways to get something into your circulatory system, right? It goes right in and it's around. If you put it on topically, it takes about 20 minutes for it to go throughout and touch everything in your body. That's about 20 trillion cells, but who's counting? If you put it in a carrier oil, the carrier oil actually makes it like a time release. So if you're looking for something to last a little bit longer, you add it to the carrier oil, and it will help it time release into your body as it also absorbs that carrier oil. And then the internal ones that go through your digestive tract. So if you put it in a capsule, obviously it's going to take a little bit for the capsule to break down. But having taken peppermint and oregano internally in a capsule, I can tell you, you're going to taste it relatively quickly, but it's not a bad thing. So it's really, really neat when you are using essential oils that you can actually use them multiple times a day to help enhance your body. So again, it takes about 20 minutes for something to go through your system that's moving at this level. And so if you have something that's affecting your body, if you're having that crisis and you want to address it with essential oils, you can apply it almost every 20 minutes. I can speak from personal experience. I'm one of those people who was blessed to get fever blisters when I'm stressed. And I was stressed this last weekend, and I started using my essential oils immediately. And my blister's basically gone already. And usually it would be 10 or 15 days before it was gone. So I can definitely say they changed my life in that aspect, and other ways too, though, because it's helping to address, again, those different things. So the benefits, you are looking at something that is natural, and I have a little asterisk over here, it should be chemical free. Again, the reason I say that is because if you're going with a cheap knockoff oil, something you can buy at, I'm going to say Walmart, Bed Bath & Beyond, Groupon, Target, you're not getting high quality, right? So you want to make sure you're going with a company. You should be able to call the company and say, where was it grown, who harvested it, and how was it prepared? Can I come see? How many companies out there allow you to do that? Not many, right? I'm not just talking about essential oils. I think about your food companies, things like that. Part of the reason, again, we love Young Living is because they're transparent like that. It's the same reason we love Standard Process, because they have the same exact deal. Like, you can go to their farm in Wisconsin. I've yet to go for that very reason. I don't like the snow. That's okay. But you can actually go to these places and actually see how things are made, how they're harvested, how they're treated. And He's excited about it. We're going to go together, right? Future chiropractor. Yeah. So it's important that you understand that that very beginning and the treatment along the way is what determines just how natural that is. And if you're putting something that's laced with chemicals in your body, you're not really going to get the benefit that you're seeking anyway. So it's important that you look for that. It is readily used by the body. So when it comes to our supplements and things that we put on our body or in our body can only use certain forms of things. Because of the size of the essential oil particles, they're much more easily used by our body. So it's really nice to have on hand if you're looking for your body to respond relatively quickly. And they're also very, very effective. So, yes?
Sorry.
That's okay.
Taking medications after taking them for so long, your body gets used to it so that it doesn't have the same effect. Do oils at some point have that effect if you take it too long for so? I don't.
That's a really good question. So does your body get used to it?
Yes.
Is basically what you're asking. I have some patients that say they do go through different cycles with the oils, and they find that helps them. I'm not so sure that the essential oil would stop having that beneficial effect. I personally haven't experienced that, but some people, remember the limbic system is involved.
Right.
They might get that idea of, oh, it's not working as well, so I need to switch it up. But sometimes giving your body different things, just like you want to eat different foods, you don't want to use the same foods every single day. Mixing with your essential oils isn't a bad thing either. So it's definitely good to give your body different things to work from. The more you give it, obviously the better chance it has to bounce back and recover.
Crop rotation.
What was that?
Crop rotation.
Crop rotation. I like that. Absolutely. You live in your body, right? It's your own farm. Treat it well. It's very, very important. All right, and I wanted to share with you, this is one of your fellow patients in our office. So what I want to share with you about this person is this was their x-ray taken a little over a year before this one. And this person came in with 3 different scoliosis curves in their body. They had one in their neck, one in their thoracic spine, this one's a 45-degree, one in the thoracic spine, and one in their lumbar spine. This is someone who, avid athlete, amazing what this person can do. Like marathons, running for fun. I don't get it, but some people do. It's okay. And had done everything right in their life and still had this happening in their body. This is also an avid oil user, using oil for years. This isn't an injury. This is something that was developed and never really took care of the alignment, but did other things to kind of offset the symptoms from it. So using oils to help with pain, muscle discomfort, things like that, exercise to try to balance things out. What we have over here, this is after a year of chiropractic care, the scoliosis in the neck is actually gone. And the thoracic spine, we reduced this curve by 20 degrees, so it went from 45 to 25, and the lumbar spine by another, I think, 10 to 15 degrees. Overall, she had over 45 degrees reduction in her scoliosis curves. That was including chiropractic care on top of her oils. So this is another aspect where we want to look at the whole realm of the health. We can't just look at one aspect and say, this is going to cure it, right? We have to look at the whole person. That's what health should be. It should be holistic, where the whole person is considered. So I want to point this out because, in part, she's done great with her chiropractic care. She's continued. We're still working on things because obviously there's still things to work on. Where she had the greatest reduction in her curves was in her neck, and she was applying essential oils before and after every adjustment. So I like that she was taking that aspect to support her health. And there are different essential oils have different frequencies that they work at. She was using one that's actually tuned for spinal alignment. And so after we took these x-rays and I asked her, I was like, are you applying oil? She's like, of course I'm applying oils. I'm like, okay, your entire spine now, let's do this. And we're excited about it. So the reason I want to show you this is it's important to address your whole well-being. We can't expect, again, one thing to be the quick fix for everything. So here's someone who was doing everything right and this was still happening inside her body. We added chiropractic care and we started turning the tables. And that doesn't mean that she's done doing the things that are good for her, and I don't want her to stop. I want her to continue doing those good things. And I also want to inspire you all to address those other aspects of your life, to address your toxins and your traumas and your thoughts, because that's really important if you really want to truly get well. You have to think of the big picture, not just this one tiny little avenue over here. So I hope that this inspires you, because I love doing things like this. And for those of you who are on track with your care plans, you'll be having x-rays and we'll get to check and see too how things are coming along.
How do they do a mix that's all for spinal alignment?
That is, they've done the research on it. I have not. So I can't say for sure. I do know the blend is called Valor. and it works extremely well. I also know that
Question over there, we didn't hear it.
the blends, or how do they determine what helps with the spinal alignment? So the people who work with this company do a lot of research. There's a lot of research behind everything they do. They're actually the only country with FDA approval for certain things, which is really, well, I don't trust the FDA. It's really important when it comes to getting things out into the mainstream. So they have, and I'll show you the box. There you go, Facebook. And so, so they actually have researchers out there who are looking at the frequencies of the different oils and comparing those to different frequencies in the body. And so they're using this, again, that well-rounded approach to say, how can this benefit and how can we apply it?
Is there some type of evaluation that can be done to help us identify which essential oils would be recommended for our individual situations?
Yes, that's a great question. There are scans out there available. They're called Zytoscans, and then there's a new one. We don't, but we're having someone bring it to the office on October 1st for our health fair. So October 1st from 10 to 1, we are going to have someone here doing scans. And it's really interesting. And I've had the scan done myself. I do it every time I get the opportunity. Because it can actually help pinpoint different aspects of your life in those traumas, thoughts, and toxins that need to be addressed that the essential oils may help with. So it's a really cool thing to have experience with, definitely. All right, so things to remember when it comes to your essential oils. So I really want to have you guys focus on this, is that quality matters. And I thought I put mattress up there for a second, baby brain, I apologize. I was like, wait a minute, until I'm tired. So quality does matter. Remember, anything that you put on your body will go into your body. So think about all of your makeups, your shampoos. Read your labels. Become avid readers. It's really important that you know what's going on to your body, because it's going into your body and it's going to impact your health one way or another, whether you like it or not. So that also comes down to those essential oils. If you can't call the company and they can't identify exactly where things are from, that's a problem. We also have that you want to start small, because the essential oils do a really good job of cleaning and scrubbing our cells. Doing a lot, like if you're like me and you're like, I'm just going to pour it on everywhere, you may have a detoxing effect. So if you start feeling lousy, you're going to want to back off and dilute it, especially if you've got kids. You want to make sure you're not putting things on, because their bodies should be pretty clean as it goes. Most children in our country are born with over 400 different chemicals in their body, like from the second at birth they get from mom, so in mom's environment. So it's good to use essential oils with them to help them kind of get that out, but don't go neat. Go slow with them, dilute it. And that health is your health is about the big picture. So again, don't expect one avenue to be your cure-all. You can't. That's why we have these workshops. That's why we want to teach you. He knows. That's why we want to teach you about diet and exercise and healthy thinking. It's crucial that you address these other aspects of your life, because, like I said, we love adjusting you. We also want to see you make progress. I don't want to see anyone plateau in their health. Because if you're plateauing here, you're plateauing out there. And I believe everyone here you're meant for great things. And we want to help you achieve that. And then I thought this was great, since essential oils come from nature. Be patient with yourself. Nothing in nature blooms all year. So even if you do have health challenges, know that you can switch things up. You can take another avenue. Don't give up the good things that you're doing for yourself. Far too often, as soon as we get stressed, as soon as we get injured, as soon as we have that minor little setback, we're like, screw it, I'm going to McDonald's, right? So, right, we stop doing the things that are good for us. And I came across this great saying the other day. It's like giving up because of one setback is like slashing your other 3 tires because you got a flat. It doesn't make sense. So don't give up. Look for those other things to enhance your health. Always be willing to learn and apply. Now, for those of you who want to learn more about essential oils, we do have a workshop coming up. It's a Saturday workshop. We don't normally do the essential oil workshops during the week, but we do have a Saturday workshop. It's September 17th that we will be going more in depth. It's that next level of essential oils. So essential oils one-on-one. And for those of you who want to better understand the chiropractic aspect of your health, next week's workshop is Chiropractic Works, the how and the why. So if you truly want to understand how your body works and how to enhance it, and really understand what we're doing on the table, because we're not just cracking and popping you, happy to say there's more to it than that. It's a really good workshop to really understand what we're trying to achieve. Now, for those of you who want to experience some essential oils, this is the starter kit. I'm going to have it up front if you want to give it a sniff. If you have any questions, I'm happy to help you. And did you get your kit yet?
Yes, and I noticed there's a whole line for pets too.
Yes, they have. Right? It's amazing. There's actually a book you can get at desk reference.
Yeah.
I'll show it to you. I'll bring it in. But if you want to experience any of these, highly recommend you stop by the front desk. And I hope that you will join us next week for our weekly spinal workshop, and on the 17th for the essential oil workshop, and October 1st for our open house.
What time is the workshop on the 17th?
It starts at 9 a.m.
There is a essential oils, I call it my Bible,
Yes.
my oily Bible, and it explains the process, it explains where everything is grown, how it's done, it explains, you can look in the back for whatever oil they have, and it'll tell you what's in it,
Yes.
all the nutritional benefits, all the soothing benefits, it's, you know.
It's definitely the essential oil Bible for
yeah,
sure.
It's amazing.
And I will say, for those of you who are interested in using essential oils for yourself at home to enhance your health, you want to get those books now, because the FDA is actually requiring that they be recalled, because for some reason drug companies don't like it when people get better without drugs.